Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Giambetti.
Get that
and
little Boris Karloff in there. Welcome to.
This is Mike Egan, if you don't know us by now.
Yeah.
After about 8 years. So, oh no,
6 years.
6 years.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, we have some,
Next year we got the itch.
yeah. Hopefully we're on, maybe we'll be on live next year, taking
Oh,
actual phone calls.
I don't think they'd be
No?
ready for that.
All right,
out there.
yeah, no. We don't have a face.
No, we're not taking any
No.
phone calls.
So we have some closure here today. Hibbing boys basketball team went to Duluth Denfeld and lost 82 to 40, I believe, last night. So their season is officially over. I think they ended with 3 wins, and that was almost expected because they were too young and no experience.
Well, I watched a little bit of the highlights last night on the news, and they were in it for a little while, and then Duluth got hot and hit a couple threes and pulled away. So they got a young freshman playing from at Duluth that's pretty good.
The kid I'm thinking of is a sophomore. Ferguson is his name. Unless I think he's a sophomore. Now, maybe they have a freshman I'd missed.
That's the young kid that hit a couple
But
threes.
yeah, maybe there's somebody younger than he.
So anybody else still as far as basketball on the range up here?
Tonight, well, we'll get back more about the game.
I'm
but
sorry.
That's all right. But tonight, the 7A second round games start. Chisholm's at home against Southridge. Nashwauk's on the road to Northland. I think they play in Reamer,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. So, and then Cherry's at home against Floodwood. And then, of course, Mount Iron Bugle's probably at home tonight, and Northwoods, I believe, is at home tonight. So there are 7A games all around, and I believe Saturday they might end up in Duluth, which is too bad they're not coming here.
Next year they're here.
Well, that'll be better. So,
And that'll probably be Cherry and Deer River.
well, Deer River's the number 1 seed because they beat Cherry like early in the season. Now, whether that holds now is another thing. But yeah, Cherry's number 2, and I think Northland was number 3, and I'm not sure who the 4th and 5th are. But Chisholm was the 8th seed, and Southridge was the 9th seed, and Southridge has those 2 6'8" and 6'9" kids. So
And they're the 8th seed?
yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I don't, and this is nothing against the coaching staff or anything, but I don't know how you can't win when you got height like that. And the one kid is actually well-rounded and can go out and shoot 3-pointers.
Oh, well, I was going to say, unless you got Tweedledee and Tweedledee dumb playing.
Well, I don't know what they have surrounding them.
No.
So it's hard to believe that they couldn't make a dent.
With the 2 big guys.
Yeah, because you don't get that.
No, not up here.
No, you don't see that at all up here. So good luck to all those teams in 7A. I know Rock Ridge is still alive in AA.
Yep.
I'm not sure when they play again. I don't know about Mesabi East. I'm not sure how they did the first night out. But
And you're the entertainment guy on the paper, or are you the sports guy?
Sports guy.
Oh, okay.
So I should know that stuff. I can look it up.
By the way, we're brought today by Minnie. Today just got a latte better.
Latte better.
What is this?
It's a turtle mocha.
Life is short. Stay awake for it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, that's what I should have. I wish I was a little more creative because I did the public address for the 7A girls games on Saturday.
Did you really?
All 4 games.
Nice.
And during timeouts, I should have said, and this timeout is brought to you by, and I should have said, well, maybe I should have said Lux,
No,
Premier Fitness at Lux.
You should have promoted the show.
And I should have promoted the show, and I should have said, and this timeout is promoted by Caribou Coffee.
Yeah.
Life is short. Stay awake for
Stay
it.
awake for it. And it's my good friend Mike Egan, my partner, who's actually out working today.
So,
Yeah.
I
Well, good for you. You like doing that?
Oh, yeah.
I know you did the hockey during the year. A couple
no,
times.
well, that was the TV.
Yeah.
TV part of it.
Pardon me.
This was the this is just doing the public
The radio?
address. Yeah.
Well,
Telling everybody who scores, even though they can see it on
Yeah.
their own.
Yeah.
But you got to tell everybody.
Yep.
You know. But then
well,
you.
good.
So.
Well, you can tell we're trying to fill in time here because there's nothing going on at the
on.
high school.
But I just want to say about last night. The boys started out just fine. They got the first basket of the game. They had another opportunity and missed a layup. But the biggest thing for them is not to panic when the pressure comes.
Right.
Because once the pressure came, it was we'd throw the ball to nobody, and of course,
Well,
or either to the other team, and then they go down and get layups. And,
that'll come with experience.
well, it will, that was unfortunately that's the way it happened this year. And
Let's give Coach Ani an opportunity to
yes,
build a little bit.
that's right. He deserves
We
that.
got a young player down in the 8th grade that's coming up, so be ready.
Yeah. He's the grandchild to our producer,
Yep.
so
Be ready.
we're all set for that. Because
He
he
called it.
said the 8th grade had a pretty good weekend up in, was it Bemidji?
Yeah.
Yeah, they went up there and took second place in
Where?
that tournament. Bemidji.
Bemidji.
Okay, sorry, I got to use my Iron Ranger for that one. Bemidji, no,
They
Bemidji.
had a winning season too.
And they had a winning season, and that was without one of their better players because he had to play varsity ball this year
Yep.
and JV ball.
And the other one was on C-Squad.
And the other one played C-Squad.
C Squad, whoever that was. We won't
And
mention any names.
Before we go any further, too, we need to say congratulations to the youth hockey program. They've got
Oh.
both the Bantam and Pee Wee going to the state tournament, so we don't want to forget. Our young teams are doing well.
Yes,
So-
so we have a bright future ahead of us here
Well, let's hope so.
in high school sports. You know, hopefully we can. You know, we have spring sports start up next Monday. What would that be, like the 13th?
Yes.
Yep,
Okay, so yeah, check that out. That helps.
Monday the 13th.
Yep, and so a track and softball will start. Baseball gets a 1 week grace period, so pitchers and catchers can report, just like spring
Spring
training.
training.
Pitchers and catchers report, so
Yeah.
the pitchers can start throwing a little bit.
Where are you going? Gym training.
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, you're not throwing
throwing
outside.
in the gym.
That's a fact at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, so and then baseball start the next week. I'm sure golf will be starting up here in the next couple of weeks, and then tennis I think is the last week of March.
And hopefully the softball team can take advantage of that new field out there. They get it cleared off from. They can go out and practice on the turf. They've got
So yeah, no, they will find that they will be out playing a lot sooner than most teams because of that facility there, which is again why we need a turf baseball field. But we never bring that up on the air here, do
No,
we?
no.
But yeah, so you know the college softball and baseball teams were down in Florida.
It's the year of the Babe.
Yep.
Babe
so we'll
Lumack,
see how Babe
girls softball.
took 11 women down there. Hopefully,
11 come back.
yeah. You know, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't. You know, Bobby DiNucci he must have at least 20 to 25 players.
Good.
So, and they all seem to be grade-wise, they seem to be okay. So that should be an interesting season once they start. They actually played a game before going to Florida. They were down at TCF Bank Stadium playing last week.
Really?
Yeah.
Outdoors?
No, it's in the dome.
Oh, inside the dome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So fortunately, you know what? I keep saying, maybe it sounds like a broken record, but at least they made, or U.S. Bank Stadium. I'm
Yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say
US,
TCF.
no, U.S. Bank Stadium.
Oh,
Yeah, at least they made it into a place where you could play
Yep.
baseball. Now they're not going to play major league games in there, but
no.
you know, big deal. That's
They
no big
could.
deal. Well, they possibly could if they really
Well,
needed to.
the Gophers play there once in a while
Well,
too, right?
Yeah, maybe for their turn. They used to
Spring
have that
tournament?
tournament. But yes, so at least they have that place baseball ready. You know, to give the kids an
Yeah.
opportunity, the college kids an opportunity to play. So, but obviously, once they get home from Florida, it's going to be a while before they get
Right.
back out. But
Especially if we get our tournament snowstorm or our basketball tournament snowstorm.
I don't know if we're supposed to get hit
I
that
think it's all
hard.
staying sound south.
Yeah, so maybe
Minneapolis,
we'll luck out and But I don't see any 40-degree days coming up either. Now, again, it's the 9th today. We have 11 more days of winter.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because the spring is the 20th, March 20th, and, hopefully by then,
It'll be
we're on the downside.
Yep.
So here we go. We're going
We'll be
to,
shining up those clubs pretty soon.
hopefully.
Yep. Putting the new spikes
I'll have
in
to
the-
go. I'll have to go to the gym with the high school kids and start swinging my clubs in there to get.
Well, we got that golf simulator coming for you. So,
Ooh, well, that might help too,
yeah.
because I got to get that swing down before I get out there. So.
I can't do that thing unless you got that swing.
But that's and again, nice job by Tom this year. I know the record wasn't what they wanted it, but
Well, the kids never gave up. So, I mean, they played every game. You didn't win that many, but still, as you said earlier, they're young, so they need some experience, and we'll see what the next couple of years bring.
and they played hard every game. I'm not going to doubt their effort. I mean, that's something that you can't doubt. But I did talk to the Denfeld coach after the game last night, and I asked him, is it fair to say that this program has struggled before you took over? And he goes, yeah, we last year they were 3-24.
Okay.
This year they're above 500, and I think according to, and I have to thank Rich Ruzich and his family for driving me down, Zach and Laura, for taking me down to the game last night, and we talked, and Zach said that Denfeld probably won its first playoff game. I forgot to ask the coach this, but they probably won their first playoff game in like 6 years.
Oh.
So, and I asked, he gave me a rundown. He said, yeah, we were 3-24 before that, and he'd always been a coach at the younger level,
Right.
so he knew what he had coming up, and that's all it took was to get
Good.
those guys up and seasoned a little bit, and that. So yeah, no, Denfeld is they're an up and coming program right now.
You
So
must tell how important you are if you get chauffeur-driven drives down to games. That's
Well,
pretty good.
yeah, that's just because I don't like driving at night.
I don't blame you. I don't either.
I can see that's not the issue. I just don't like driving at night.
My issue is the older I get, I can't see anything.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, thanks to them, and thanks to anybody, the boys hockey team, for Eric Reward for taking me down to their semifinal game, and I got to make sure I
It's
get
too
out
bad
there.
they got screwed in the pairings.
Well,
We won't bring it up.
Well, no, that's after watching, of course, the state hockey tournament started
Yep.
on
No surprises there
yesterday.
yet.
No surprises, but after watching some of those games, and maybe I'm jealous, but I think Hibbing could have competed with some of the teams I saw play down there yesterday.
I think so. If you base it on score and record, I mean they played better and they scored better against Hermantown.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be Hermantown and Ore Road in the final. But they had that late game last night was a heck of a hockey
Very
game.
good game. Yeah, Matamita, it was Northfield and who's the other one? Orono. Yeah, that game, those teams I think are probably at Hibbing's level, maybe up a little bit. I'm not sure, but Laverne,
Yeah,
we could beat Laverne, and Alexandria. Alexandria started 1-9
yeah.
this year. If you watched the games yesterday, then you heard that.
Well, that's why I
say
asked my son when we were watching it, and they usually have teams are all ranked, 1 through 5 or 1 through 4, and Alexandria had nothing by them, so they must have been the dark horse of the tournament.
Well, I think they were there last year, and they lost some people to graduation. But how do you? I don't know. And more power to them for starting 1-9 and making it to the state.
Oh, yeah.
But what is?
That
to
doesn't
me,
say much for what region they play
No,
in.
good. You took the words right out of my mouth there. I mean, what kind of region did they play in where they got through there? Now they went on a nice winning streak and finished above 500, I believe. But
Yeah. Well, now we'll get to see how the northern team gets to full fair Andover.
yeah.
Representing the northern Minnesota, Andover.
And they beat up on Duluth East last week. I never thought East was the 1 seed, and Who would have thought that?
Yeah,
Now,
especially-
obviously, I don't watch these games, but I should. We do this show, and
Especially on their home ice.
well, pretty close to their home ice, yes.
It's closer than Andover.
Yeah. You know, if we could probably go live on this show if we actually put some work into it. You know, I mean, but we don't. So it's
Starting on time.
yeah, we don't. We never start on time either.
Hey, I sent that note this morning.
Yeah, we were supposed to start at 9, and we started at 9:23. So
Is it that late?
yeah.
Well, it's that pre-production.
Well,
meeting.
no, we just sit out there and talk, and
Yeah.
we try to, you know, straighten things out what we want to do.
Yeah,
But
Gary just keeps talking, especially when he forgets to bring the donuts.
yeah, and today I did. I apologize. I wanted to, but I was late. I was coming late too, so you weren't. You know, I was just as guilty this morning of
Yep.
not showing up before 9 o'clock. But yeah, so we'll see how the AA goes today. And again, I don't know all the teams in there. I know there's Hill Murray and Minnetonka, I believe, and Andover and.
A couple of private schools. Bill Murray's one.
Yeah, Hill Murray's in it. I don't think Benilde's in it. I'm not sure. Maybe producer guy there
Producer guy.
can look that up and see. But
Hey, producer guy.
I was out yesterday and I was thinking, boy, doesn't the state hockey tournament start today? And I missed the Hermantown game, but I did see the second game.
Well, you were laid out in your driveway.
Well, yeah, I kind of fell down twice yesterday, slipped on ice twice, and I'm lucky I'm here today probably.
Yeah.
Not in a body cast.
Yeah. And your neighbor, hey Martha, he's down again.
Well, the funny part of it is, it was the first time I was in my driveway. There was nobody around.
You mean there was a piece of ice in your driveway?
There was down by the street
Oh,
where I get that puddle.
yeah. Usually it's a pure concrete when you're shoveling.
Well, yeah, but that water comes in there.
Yeah.
There's nowhere for it to go because the
Call the city.
well, if and I'm not complaining, but if the city watches this show, please come and plow from my driveway down to the sewer that's to the south of me because
Yeah. And
the
what's the
water's
address
not going
again?
anywhere. Yeah, no.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow. There's gonna be a 4-foot pile of snow in front of your
it,
driveway.
yeah. No, I respect everything the city does. I mean, they
Oh boy, you're really stretching it now.
whatever. They do their jobs, and that's great. I mean, but yeah, after they had that one snowfall where they had those big windrows in there,
Yeah.
they never windrowed it again down 7th Avenue.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, just gave him a hint. You're on 7th Avenue.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they know where
And
I
it's
live.
a corner house.
Yeah, I'm sure they know where I live. So there could be a pile of snow in front of my house tomorrow.
Aren't you right across the street from the skeleton joint?
From the Halloween
The
house.
Halloween house.
Yes, which is
But we won't
very-
give you an address.
which is very entertaining. I'll say that they do a good job
Yep.
of decorating for Halloween.
All right, back to sports.
Boy, what was I going? Oh, I was going to bring up this too. I got
I hope it's nothing I want to see.
I got an email from Dave Herbst.
Oh, okay.
Okay, last week, and he was on the 1973
Correct.
Hibbing team that won the state title. It's been 50 years.
Yep.
This year, 50 years since they won that state
Are they
title.
having a reunion?
I don't know if they're having a reunion or not. Maybe they'll have one this summer. But
Well,
he
aren't
he wanted to do a story,
Nice.
so I called him and we talked for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm going to do a column on it. I'm not going to write a story on it because it's just I'll write a column and I'll put his quotes in there. But it's fun always reminiscing with those guys when I do talk to them because they have great stories and they're a great bunch of guys. And
Well, they should probably, won't they be having their class reunion too? If it's just.
well, yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, it must be their 50th class reunion, so maybe they will be up this summer. But unfortunately, now they've lost 3 of the guys
Oh,
off that team: Jimmy Perpich and Pogarels, Tim, and Jamie Weber. Both have all passed away now.
Oh.
So, it's sincerities go out to their families for that and that. But yeah, but there's a lot of those guys still live in town, and
that'd be kind of interesting.
yeah.
We need, like you said, it'd be neat to hear some of the stories. So, I could tell you some stories about the state tournament. Old, down at the old Remington and Lexington Hotel, downtown Minneapolis.
Well, they, like you said, we were kids from Hibbing. We had never been to the cities before.
Yeah,
And they're staying at the Curtis
the Curtis Hotel.
Hotel
downtown.
and,
Yep.
playing at the Met Center. And then they, after they won it that Sunday, they're driving and they're riding up in the Greyhound bus and they get to the airport and
The van is waiting.
there's a
everybody.
long string of cars from the airport
Very nice.
out coming into town at the Lincoln. I know I was at the Lincoln when the homecoming came because I remember that. But I also remember the fact that the Brooklyn school burned down the same day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that was, you kind of wonder. Well, I mean, there's nothing fishy about that, but I mean, just strange how stuff like that happens. So, but yeah, so that'll be running here in the next couple days or
Good.
whatever. And,
Good.
But
What are we gonna go to?
well, the
Professional?
Wild are
Wild?
only 1 point out of first place.
They're no, they're
They're
tied.
tied for
Yeah.
first place.
What are they? 10-0-2 and no, I'm sorry, 9-0-2 in their last 11 games. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Problem is, as I said in our pre-production meeting, is they're going to get in the playoffs. They're not going to be able to score any goals, and they're going to lose.
well. They scored 4 last night. Now, obviously, one was an empty netter, but yeah, and Kaprizov didn't score last night. But now it looks like who knows how bad he's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
If he is, hopefully, cross your fingers and think, okay, maybe he'll only miss a week. But
And again, we're not going to belittle the officiating. We'll
No,
let
never.
we'll let the NHL coaches do that.
yeah, well, we've already how bad it is. I mean, those guys that happened right in front of the referee.
Didn't do
And
anything.
he didn't do a
Didn't blow the
dang
whistle.
thing about it.
Nope.
I mean, it's just
Fleury had over 40 saves.
yeah. Fleury had
Fleury.
like 45 or 46 saves last
Yeah,
night.
he was hot last night.
Yeah, and Winnipeg's not a bad team, and they were starting to make a move up in the standings. So
Yeah, but now they're still behind Calgary, right, or whatever the. I don't know what the standings.
well,
are, but I thought-
yeah, I don't know. Calgary the other night was a 0-0 tie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think hockey's
Well, still an
exciting.
entertaining game to
Yeah,
watch.
well, it is. It's because there's a
And-
lot more action football
Well,
game.
and you can tell it's getting closer to the playoffs because there's a little more, how do you put it, energy when it comes to checking and a little more scuffling and all that kind of stuff.
And more defense
More fights.
right now at this time. And that. So hopefully, well, and again, we've talked about this, the playoff system in the NHL is bogus.
Yeah.
You should be 1-8, 2-7, instead of, well, if the Wild would happen to place first
They
in
get a-
their
they get a
division,
bye.
they'd cross over to the other one and play one of the wild card teams
Oh, really?
in the other division.
Oh.
But if they're second, they get Colorado.
Yeah.
And that's right below them at this point. I don't know right now, but
Yeah, right
yeah.
below.
So they got to change that system.
I'll call
In the
Bateman or
NBA
whatever his name is.
NBA is 1-8, 2-7,
Yep.
3-6, 4-5.
And a 4-5 going to be the Timberwolves and whoever's ahead of them right now.
Well, they're only like a half a game out. I thought I heard this morning it was from 4th place, but maybe it is 5th place. And even so, regardless, all they got to do is go on some kind of winning streak.
At least, well, maybe they'll make the playoffs. Well, they got 18 games left,
Yeah, somewhere around there. So yeah,
But they-
I just
but they
go
gotta-
on to the winning streak.
got to win at home though.
Well,
gotta
and you
beat at
can't
home.
lose to Philadelphia. I mean, I know Philadelphia's good, but beat them.
Well, they're one of the top teams in the East
The
right
East,
now.
yes, they are, and the East is decent. I
Yep.
get it.
But at least they went out on the West Coast and went 3-1 and beat. They had to beat the teams that are in their division, and they lost to Golden State by 5
Yeah.
when they were ahead. But
By
and when's the Big Cat coming back? Is that
That's
going to make a
anybody's
difference?
Guess. I thought I heard Paul Allen ask Chris Finch that yesterday or whenever that was, and he might be starting to work out.
Oh,
So,
shouldn't he have been doing that while
well,
he's rehabbing?
if they were a little bit more clear on what was wrong with him, a calf strain doesn't sound that severe.
No, it doesn't.
So it had to be worse than a calf strain.
Yeah. Kind of like a torn toenail.
Well, yeah, that could be. But if it's a torn calf,
You know how hard it is to, with a torn toenail to run with those $300 pairs of tennies they got on.
I know. But you don't want him to tear his Achilles.
No.
I get it. Yeah, I mean that's so you're being very careful there because you start favoring that spot, and then you start doing something different.
Isn't
and then
that
you
what
hurt.
happened to the kid from Golden State?
Oh yeah, probably Klay Thompson.
Klay
He
Thompson,
might have
yeah.
had a not a very severe
And
injury.
he went out and played and made it worse. So
And he tore his Achilles.
Twins,
Yeah,
6-6.
their first game is 3 weeks from today, I think,
Yeah.
or at least 3 weeks away, and their first home game's
$5
4 weeks
Buxton
away.
doesn't play.
Well, I don't think he's played during the preseason.
I think he tripped in the dugout and hit his head
No,
or something.
that could be. Carlos Correa hasn't really played much.
No.
But some of those guys don't have to. I mean, they'll get 1 or 2 at bats maybe every other day or something.
Just enough to get the legs fresh, keep them fresh, and work them a little bit.
But it's the pitch clock. I'll say I've been watching a bunch
like
of
it?
the games. Games are faster.
Yep. And it's
They-
not as hard on the pitcher as it is on the batter.
No, and if you're a pitcher, for me, I'd want to work fast.
Yep.
Why do I know you maybe get guys on base, but why would you want to slow down and give the batter the advantage?
Well, you get an extra 5 seconds if they're
Well,
on base,
yeah,
right?
but I mean, but they took so long because they don't want to mess around. But just get in on the mound and pitch.
You think Mike Hargrove,
Yeah.
the human highlight from
The human rain
Rain
delay.
delay.
I remember him. That's probably dating us back a little bit
Yeah.
here, but yeah.
I
But
think it's
I
good.
like it.
Yep.
And I like the fact that the shifts are gone
Yep.
because now you're going to see better defensive plays.
Although when the Twins played, I'm not sure who they're playing. Watching one of their games, the team that they're playing brought their left fielder in and put him behind second base or in between second and first. So what's the difference? It's a shift.
What inning was it?
I don't remember.
Was it maybe it was late in the game and
No,
a
it's
sack
against the- no, it wasn't late in the
fly
game.
would have been.
No, it wasn't late in the
Oh,
game.
I don't know how that happened then.
Yeah,
but,
I thought you weren't supposed to be able to do that.
well,
But
I
as long
don't.
as 4 guys have their feet on the infield, they're
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know why because there's times at the end of the game where you might need a sacrifice fly is all you need, so you bring an extra
good. Yeah,
infielder
but
in.
on the other hand, last year, when everybody made the shift, third base is wide open, but nobody knows how to
Nobody
bunt
hit.
anymore.
Watch everybody hit the opposite
Yeah.
field now that there's no shift on.
We're running out of time.
But yeah, that and Aaron Rodgers could be on his way to the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre,
Daylight savings time, son.
and daylight savings time is Sunday.
Well, we got everything covered here.
So we will leave you on that. So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. Welcome, or we'll see you again next week at Home Team Advantage.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.